right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first off, if we go to first 9 weeks and week of October 5th, we will see that Monday today, our TEAC is 8.4a. Our target is that students will find the constant rate of change, which is the slope from 2 points. Our agenda was we had our warm-up discussion board. We're about to do our notes. We're not gonna watch the video. I'm gonna go through the notes. And then we're gonna have a 2 points discussion. And then we have our final assignment that's gonna be in one note. So majority of us have answered the discussion. I'm not gonna go over it. We see what's all there. So now we're gonna start with the notes from 2 points. Again, we have it here as a PDF if you ever want it, but we're gonna go over to, this is second period. So let me go to second period. And I'll just pull up this one. You're gonna click on your name, go to unit 3. And the notes is going to be slope from 2 points. So when you open it, it should look like this. I am going to pull up a paper copy, but that's what you're gonna use. Okay. So this is the same page that's in front of you. Slope from 2 points. I prefer slope from 2 points on anything and everything. If it is 2 points, I do slope from 2 points. If it's a graph, I do slope from 2 points. If it is a table, I do slope from 2 points formula, which is this right here. And the reason why is because you cannot mess it up, especially with a graph, because sometimes we forget to look at our scale or we forget to pay attention if our line is going up or down, making it positive or negative. So I am going to show you one time on here how to do it from a graph, and then we're going to continue with slope from 2 points. And then in 2 days, we do tables. So everything that we do, I'm going to show you how to use this particular formula to get your slope. Very easy. Your slope is known as rise over run, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. There are 3 simple steps when you are going through. You're going to label. So I'm going to show you all my labels in purple so you'll know how to follow along. You're going to plug in. I'm going to plug in pink. And then you're going to solve, and I'll write my answer in green, although the calculator will be doing all the work for us. So everyone has a calculator in front of them. If you do not, you may want to get one because we will be using it a lot today. And if you are virtual, 100% virtual, remember you did have the opportunity or the chance to check out a calculator so that you can use the same one that we use in school. If you are just virtual for today, then don't worry about it because when you're in school, you'll have it. Okay, so the first step of this tells us to label our coordinates. Anytime you label your coordinates, you normally have 2 sets. You have to have 2 points. And you label it as x1, comma y1, because that's your first order pair. And then your second order pair will be x2 and y2. So you have x1, y1, x2, y2. Those are the 2 ordered pairs of the 2 points that you need. You know what, you can have this because I can make a copy before my seventh period. Gotcha. Okay, so that's how we always label. So you have an ordered pair right here, and you have an ordered pair right here. So we're gonna take these labels and put them on these 2 points. So the number 4 would be our x1. The number 8 would be our y1, because that's our first x and our first y. The number 5 would be our x2, and 12 would be our y2, because that's our second x and our second y. Do we all understand the labeling process? Yes, awesome. So now, step 2 is to plug the numbers into the formula. And the way you plug them in is according to this equation right here. So literally your first box is your y2. Your next box is your y1. The first one on the bottom is your x2, and the second one on the bottom is your x1. So now that we know what each box needs, we're going to go to here and get our numbers. So our y2 is 12. y1 is 8. x2 is 5. x1 is 4. Once you get to this point right here, we're going to get our calculator. In the calculator, I am going to hit Control Divide because that's going to make it look like a fraction. And on the top, I'm going to type it out exactly as I have it on my paper, which is 12 minus 8. So 12 minus 8. And then I'm going to arrow down. And I'm going to type in my denominator, which is 5 minus 4. And then you hit enter. And our slope, or our m, equals 4. Let's go through it again. Step 1 is to label our coordinates. So -5 is x1, -3 is y1. 9 is x2, -10 is y2. Step 2 is to plug the numbers in. So my top, the first one on the top is going to be my y2 according to the formula that's up here on top. My next one is y1, and then x2, and then x1. So now I'm going to plug in y2. y2 is -10. So make sure you write -10. y1 is -3. -3. x2 is 9. x1 is -5. So this is why I absolutely love this calculator, because I am going to go Control Divide to give me my numerator and denominator. I have negative, so anything that's negative, I'm hitting the white button. Anything that's minus, I'm hitting this button over here next to the plus sign. So I have -10 minus a -3. And then on the bottom, I have 9 minus -5. Oops, sorry. And then I hit enter. And it simplifies it and does everything we need it to do. That's why I love the calculator. Because if you were to do this by hand, -10 minus -3, you're going to get a -6. And then 9 minus -5, you're going to get a +12. And then you would have to simplify it again to -1/2, whereas the calculator does all that for you. It's going to give it to you in the simplest terms. So my slope, or my m, equals -1/2. So now, how are we feeling about that? That's slope from 2 points. Label your points, plug the numbers into the formula, solve. Are we understanding that? Yes? Okay. So now I want to show you one time how you can do this from a graph, because while a lot of us is comfortable doing rise over run and we can identify what our scale is going up or down by and all of that stuff, this may be easier for some people. This is why it's very important to find 2 perfect points on your graph. So I'm gonna use this point and this point. They already gave them to us. You can literally count your rise when you run, make sure you pay attention that the scale is going by 7, the arrow, the line is going down, so it's negative. You can do all of that in your head, or you can say, okay, to get to this point, I went over to 2, up to 42, to 42. So that's my first ordered pair, 2, comma, 42. My second order pair, I went over to 4 and up to 21. So 4, comma, 21. You always put your X first and then your Y. Now that I have my 2 points, I'm doing the same exact thing that I was doing up here. I'm going to label my points. So this is my X1, Y1, X2, Y2. I'm going to plug in. So this is my Y2 and my Y1, my X2 and my X1. Y2 is 21. Y1 is 42. X2 is 4. X1 is 2. From there, I'm going to my calculator, control divide. On the top, I have 21 minus, no, not divided by, minus 42. And on the bottom, I have 4 minus 2. Hit enter, and it tells you that the slope is negative, so you don't have to pay attention to what way your line is going because it already tells you that it's negative, and you are going down 21 over 2. So instead of, because most people would have counted 1, 2, 3, and then over 2 and mess that up because it should have been counting by sevens, the calculator is going to tell you exactly what you need. So our slope is negative 21 over 2. So again, when it comes to graph, it's completely at your comfort level. If you can count rise over run and know to always pay attention to the scale, which way the line is going and all of that, then good. If not, then find your 2 points and then label and plug it in. Okay? So make sure you pay attention to the fact that it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Always pay attention to your first coordinate is your number 1, so your x1 and y1. The second coordinate is your number 2, so your x2 and y2. Plug them in, put it in the calculator, get your answer, okay? So now you're going to go back to Schoology. I would leave this page up. Don't close out of OneNote because you can use these notes. But you're going to go back to Schoology. And now you have another discussion board that's really quick. It says that Ms. Powell was given the following 2 points, 8, 6, and 3, 5. Did she set up the formula to solve it correctly? If she did, put yes. If she did not, you're going to type out how she should have set it up. So when you type it out, literally do, so like if I was putting the same thing in, I would do 3 minus 8, hit enter, and then put 5 minus 6. So that's how I would know what you put on top and what you put on bottom. Okay. So whatever your answer, that's not, that may be the correct answer, it may not be, but look at the numbers. I would write the 2 numbers down on a piece of paper, label them, my X1, Y1, X2, Y2, and then see if it's set up correctly or not. And if it's not, type in what should be correct, what it should be. All right, I'm at about 11 people who have posted. That's about 4 who have not. I'm going to go ahead and give instructions for the last assignment because I don't want everyone else to just be sitting around. So, as you can see, we are back in OneNote. And this is a two-part assignment. So let me explain this because I have some students who think that they can just come to this assignment and type in done and they're done. But that's not it. There's a whole assignment that you have to do. So if you go back to OneNote, there is slope from 2 points practice, and you'll see this assignment right here. This is what you have to complete. Once you complete this assignment, then you go back to Schoology and type in done, but you have to complete the assignment first, okay? If you prefer to do this in your notebook, that is fine as well. And then just type your answers because sometimes it is a little harder to do all the writing up in here. So if you want to do the work in your notebook and then in here, just write M equals, whatever your answers are, that's fine. But if I ask you for your work, you have to be able to produce it. Guys, I don't like to and I don't want to hear, oh, my work is in the calculator. Because when I hit clear, your work is gone. Okay. So at least your setup has to be on your paper. And I'll show you what I mean by your setup. So the first thing is to go through the steps. The first thing you're going to do is label the coordinates. Label your coordinates. After you label your coordinates, you're going to plug the coordinates into the formula. And after you plug the coordinates into the formula, you're going to follow the operations, which for us is just putting it in a calculator. But if you were doing it by hand, then you will follow your operations with your addition and subtraction. Okay, so to do our work, first thing is if you're on a device, it is so much easier to write in this thing when you zoom in and out. It just makes it a little easier for you. So I'm going to start off by labeling my points. This is going to be my X1. This is my Y1. This is my X2. This is my Y2. So for 1, 2, and 3, you do have to go through all these steps because it's broken down for you like this. But when you start with 4, 5, and 6, I'll show you what you need to do for those as well. Well, 4 on. So now that they gave us the equation, we're going to go ahead and plug in. So our Y2 is -3. Our Y1 is 8. That's an ugly 8, but that's okay. Our X2 is 1. And our X1 is 2. For this, you will do it a little different to make sure you get your answers. So in the calculator, you're first going to put your numerator in. Don't put it all in together because it's just going to give you the answer. So put your numerator in first, which is -3 minus 8. And that gives us -11. So up on top, we have -11 And then 1 minus 2 is a negative 1. So we have negative 1. And negative 11 divided by negative 1 is a positive 11. And that will be our answer. Okay? Step by step is how 1, 2, and 3 want you to do it. Now, for 4 on, this is all I need to see. Either in your notebook or somewhere, you're going to draw out the formula. So the formula comes with the division sign and 2 minus signs. That's what that is. Then you're going to label your points. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. I have the formula in my notes and everywhere else, so now I know what to plug in where. I have y2 right here, which is 3. Then y1, which is negative 1. Don't forget your negative signs. X2 is 4. X1 is negative 3. Once I have that, I'm going to put it in the calculator. So control divide, 3 minus negative 1 over 4 minus negative 3. Enter, and my answer is 4 over 7. So M equals 4 ouch, over 7. And then you're done. Okay? So if you're doing this in your notebook, you would write number 4, write down the 2 points, label the points, set it up, solve. Same thing for every problem. Okay? The rest of the time is your time to work on this assignment. Once you're done, you're going to go back to Schoology, submit assignment, type in done, and that lets me know that I can go to your OneNote and check it. Okay? Don't type in done until you're actually done with the page. Yes, ma'am. I sure can. Oh, turn it off. Come put it on my desk. You're welcome.